Now, coming to the very interesting point of how did you start your own company, your own entrepreneurship journey. So I want to understand, like, over here, if there are three uh, highlights that you can take us through, that what it takes to take your first step towards your goal.
Of course. I don't think it can be limited to three. I think it's, a journey that just, has 100 different steps as you sort of keep on going to it. Um, I met my co-founder when we were in our first year of our university degrees. We just, worked on multiple different projects together, whether it be uni projects or whether it be just, different stuff through hackathons. We've been to a number of hackathons, and that's sort of how the company also started. It was, I think, 2019 Uni Hack, where we ended up winning, and we were like, all right, we were initially working on a slightly different idea, but when we ended up winning, we were like, all right, let's take this idea and try turning it into a company. So that was, first couple of years, it was a university side project. We built a couple of prototypes of the sensors that we wanted to launch. And eventually it was 2021 when we raised a bit of funding and we got government grants as well. We were like, all right, let's, go full time. Let's, try to launch these things up into orbit. And that's how we've gotten here, where we've, raised quite a bit of funding now through venture as well as, government grants. And now we're going to be launching our first two sensors this year, one in October and one in January. So that's sort of how it, has taken that's how my journey has taken place, from just trying out multiple different things, going to a number of hackathons, multiple different projects that I worked on those different hackathons, and just sort of finding what, obviously from a team point of view, finding my co-founder, seeing what type of stuff we liked, and, how best we work together. Then, of course, growing into, this industry and developing an interest for that, and just, making and just figuring out that, our skills are a fairly good fit for this. So I think, yeah, that's sort of how I'd summarize how we ended up starting this company.
Lovely. So, I mean, with the clarity with which you talk about, that take us through your journey, it shows that you had no time to waste. You either you knew the next steps, or you just kept on building to the next step, and you did not stop over there, which is amazing, because I think that's how you fail fast, you learn from it, and then you go forward, which is amazing. In the situation of, being actually there until the things have of or materialized, you have made it big, the launch that you were waiting for, I mean, with your company, it has finally happened. Before that, most of us, over here listening to us, when they want to kind of either maybe start the YouTube channel, or maybe they want the job that they were looking for, or start their own company, all these processes, it seems so big in someone's head before they've actually started off, because everything is in the head. For you, Iqbal, uh, I don't know how your situation panned, because it seems like you never stopped, you just went on one after the other. How did you deal with the failure, if that ever happened in that process? I mean, mentally.
I think you just keep rolling with the punches. That's basically the best advice for failure anyone can ever be given, essentially. You need to, failure is going to be just super common, where it's like, having a strategy to dealing with failure is inefficient. It's literally much more easier to just, be like, all right, something this has happened, I'm emotionally processing, I'm dealing with it, and then you just move forward. um, yeah, it's just, a typical process of grief, and you just want to be going through that process of grief as quickly as possible while building a thick skin. So, and as you build a thick skin, the process of grief just gets a lot easier, and just gets a lot, quicker as well to go through it, just so you can, free up a lot of your mental capital to go out and, work on the next opportunity, or go out and, build the next thing. I think that's at least how I deal with it, and I'd say, but of course, there's no healthy or unhealthy way of dealing with failure. It's eventually, it is, a process of grieving and getting over that grief, learning from it, and then moving forward.
That's actually a really cool piece